Hi, this is Bob Mason with the Phoenix ATV UTV Club. I thought I'd put together a video on how to use our Maps and GPS Tracks download feature, which is a members only access feature. So right now we're on our homepage. I've already logged in, so it says Howdy Bob Mason. I'm logged in. And so I'm going to go under members only access, and now I will be able to download a map or GPS track. So you click on it and it will launch you into our Maps and GPS Tracks library. So right now we have about 8 of these loaded. We will be adding more as the website matures and as we have time to try to put together some more of these. So in the meantime, what you would do, and this might look, by the time the go live release date goes into effect, this might change a little bit, as well as I might put the video that I'm preparing right now on this website or this page so people can view the video to see how to download it, because it does take a little effort. So I'm going to give you an overview of how to download a GPS track and also how to upload it into your Basecamp software as well as download it into your GPS unit. So when you click on the image or double click on the image, it will launch you into Google's map where we have loaded our GPX files. And in this case, I have a GPS file as well as waypoints. So when you get to this point, you can do a number of things. This is Google Maps. So you can zoom in on this and you can actually see the staging area. You can see other trails that link to that particular route and various features, terrain. You might want to plan some loop rides or whatever. But this is the GPS track for the Bumblebee Mine Tour, which I do for both the club as well as the Arizona State Parks as an OHV ambassador. One of the other ambassador ride leaders, he does a back way to Cleator, which is over here. So he will start at the staging area and go through this mountain range here through Turkey Creek and Poland Creek and come up the back way of Cleator. Then he'll loop down and maybe visit the waterfall and the Bumblebee Ranch through Government Springs. So what I do is I do this way. And so we start at the Bumblebee staging area and we go stop at Bumblebee. We go to the Bumblebee Ranch so that if you want to, let me do one thing. If you click on the track itself, it will give you information either on, it will pop up a window here in the map or off on the left-hand side since I have the legend up. So this is a 42-mile route. It took 7 hours, and the reason for it is with all these destination stops on a ambassador ride or a club ride, we spend 15-20 minutes there for people to take photos, have a meet and greet session, have lunch or snacks on the trail, and so on. So this will tell you that we hit a low point of 2,400 feet, and we hit a high point of 4,800 feet. That was probably by the DeSoto mine. And it was a 42-mile ride. So I'm just going to close that down, get back to the various waypoints, so that if you're zooming in on this and you follow the track, you see the various features, the terrain. At the Bumblebee Ranch cabin, some of these will have photos attached to them. So now if you click on it, this one has 2 photos, so I'm going to click on the 2 photos. You can take a look to see, what is this? Oh, it's the Bumblebee Ranch line cabin. And they allow us to come onto the property. We're very respectful of all the local ranchers, and we want to maintain that relationship. So they allow us to come on the property to visit these ruins, mine locations, whatever. So that's the Bumblebee line cabin. So I'm going to close that down. And our various route is that we went to the ranch cabin, then we came up through Bumblebee Wash to the Antelope Creek waterfall area. If you click on that one, there's some photos there of the waterfall. Sometimes it's just a smear on the wall, folks, unless we've had some rain. If we have a lot of rain, it's a waterfall, and that whole wash can have streams in it. But basically what you do is when you go there, this is taking a little while. I'm using a mobile hotspot for connecting instead of a Wi-Fi, so it is taking longer. Uh, this is a water pool area. You would climb around these rocks, and it's not that hard, folks. And then behind the cottonwood tree is a water pool, as well as the waterfall would come through there. Sometimes it's just a wet smear, but there is constant water year-round in this area due to the underground springs there that feed that area. Uh, so you do have to be careful. You might be coming up on some wildlife. Because of the water in the area, you might be coming up on some bees or wasps that are trying to get water to bring back to their hives. So we do ask you to be careful when you're in those types of areas. As well as any time of the year out in the desert, you got other uh, snakes and scorpions. There's actually Gila monsters in this area that we have seen on the trail. Just don't pick them up. They're just a big fat lizard. There's also some blue-collared lizards that are resident to Arizona in this area too. So I'm going to back out of the photos. There's some petroglyphs there or pictographs there. They have you can look at the various photos yourself. Then we kind of come back. We go back through Government Springs Wash here. We come back out on the Bumblebee Crown King Road. We hit the Hidden Treasure Mine. And we hit the American Flag Mine and the Golden Turkey Mine. I'll let you examine the photos of those yourselves. We go to the town of Cleator. I've got to do that one because that's always a fun stop for everybody. We do tell you to tip them well there. And then we go to DeSoto Mine in this tour. So, and like I said, the other group would be coming up through this range through here, the back way to Cleator, and coming out at Cleator on a path here. I think it's a 101 path. But they go through Turkey Creek, Poland Creek, and they start at the staging area, only they're following a different route. They're doing a clockwise route while I'm basically doing a counterclockwise route. So we have you have the various features of the file that's out there on Google's map for you to explore. Take a look at these three dots right here under the title. And if you click on that, you can get the map details. You can collapse the map legend if you want more, and then you just click the map legend to bring it back. The map details aren't nothing. You can print the map. So what I would do is I would recommend doing it in a landscape mode. You can do a PDF or direct to your printer. If you do the image, it goes to your printer. If you do the PDF, you have the ability to download this map image, not the GPX file, but the map image that you're looking at right now. So I'm going to do PDF, and I'm just going to hit print. So it comes out in landscape format. It has all the waypoints noted for you, so you can see what it looked like if you want to keep this on your file. And on the top right here, based on your browser, I use Chrome as my browser. So based on my browser, my download button is up here. So if I want to download this page to my printer or to my computer, or if I want to go directly to print, I just hit the print and it calls up my printer. I got an HP PhotoSmart 5520, and I want to print, 3-4 copies of that. I can do that. Okay, and then just hit the print button and it'll print out that page for you. So I'm going to go back. So I've shown you how to do the print. Let's go see what other features there are here. You won't be able to embed the map because this is a secured map under our club's name. So you can't share this or put this on some other website. So this is where you want to download your GPX track now, and so that you can put it into your mapping software, such as Garmin Basecamp, or you want to download this eventually and put it into, or you want to view it in Google's Earth, or get it to your GPS device. So I'm going to hit Download KML. And what I want to do is I want to export this out of the Google's map into my laptop. So I'm going to hit Export KML file. That's a keyhole markup language, which was developed by Google Earth, and it's for tracking all the data points and the time elements and everything on there in a 2D Maps or 3D Earth browsers like Google Earth. So that's what a KML format means, keyhole markup language. So they developed it. So I'm going to hit OK. So now in my bottom left corner here, you can see that all of a sudden it has downloaded Bumblebee Mine KML file. I hope you can see that. It's very small. And so what that has done, it has downloaded off of Google's My Maps into my PC under a folder called Downloads. Anytime you receive an email attachment from your friends that has a picture or a video or anything like that, it goes into your PC/downloads folder. So you would have to look into your file folder. So I'm going to click File Folder. And so I am under PC and under my Downloads folder here. And then I used to have a folder that had Basecamp software downloads, and when I did an upgrade to Garmin, my folder disappeared with all my files. So this has got a hodgepodge of everything, and I got it sorted based on type just to find the things. So here's all GPX files. I have quite a few of those. So I'm going to go all the way down here, and I'm going to look for a KML file, which is what we just downloaded from the club website's Google Maps. So JPEGs, and there it is. There is the file itself. Now, a KML file, if you double click on it, it will automatically launch you into Google's Earth. So I'm just going to double click, show you how it looks. It'll launch you into Google Earth because some people like using that software. I'm just going to hit close here. So it's brought in the GPX track and all my waypoints, and it's in Google Earth now. So you got basically 3 dimensions. You can zoom down into this. You can have it, you can see other little pictures along the way that somebody has put in to Google. So a lot of people plan out routes using this tool. I'm not a very big fan of it just because I don't know that much about it. But that's what would happen with a KML file if you just double click on it. So I'm going to close that now. I'm going to discard that so I don't need it. But that's the KML format. Is different from a GPX file, which is just like a Garmin GPX or anybody who shares a GPX file. So I'm going back up to look for the same thing because I've had some amusing stories on this. So here's a GPX file now. And I'm just going to double click because I've had people say, hey, I got your GPX file. I double clicked on it and nothing appeared. And that's because they're like a Google Earth person. When you double click on a GPX file, it's all machine code. So this is how your Garmin unit or your GPS unit, whatever you use, records information in a standard format from the satellite pings, the times, the GPS locations, and everything. And so this is machine code language so that a mapping software like Garmin Basecamp or whatever you use can read this. So never just double click a GPX file, folks. I've had so many people that I've shared that with them. They're new users and they don't know how to use it. So that's the difference between a KML file and a GPX file. So I'm going to close that. But now what I want to do is I want to show you, we want to look at that Garmin, or not the Garmin, but the KLM file. And I'm going to upload that into Basecamp. So I'm actually going to just go, I'm in Windows 8, so those of you that are Windows 10, you can make fun of me, but I'm an old school guy. And so this is Windows 8 Basecamp. So it's going to load Basecamp. Takes a few seconds. And I'm just going to close that. I don't need to see the tutorial or anything like that. So this is Garmin Basecamp. So you can see it up here, the name of it. And this is the structure of it. You have your library here. We recommend creating folders of like OHV areas so that if you have a Bumblebee OHV area, You might want to have a Bumblebee mine tour. You might have a Bumblebee up to Crown King ride. You might have a Bumblebee Bradshaw Mountain ride. You might have a Bumblebee to Cords Junction ride. You can track it all under a folder and keep it nice and organized. And that way you can download this to your GPS unit when you need them. One of my friends, Bill Popo in the club, he'll have all his tracks for like Jackass Flats. And so if he goes out there, he can, if he wants to explore another trail, he says, well, I got this GPS track that will lead me over to this area, and I could go onto that new trail and create a new track. So he does that too. So what I'm going to do right now is, when we want to upload the KML file into Garmin Basecamp, and so that we in turn can then download it to our GPS unit, our device. So what you want to do is you want to go to My Collection, and you want to right click on it, and you want to create a new list folder first. So I'm going to call this Bumblebee. I already have another Bumblebee, but I'm just going to call this Bumblebee. Okay, and hit return. And now it's created a folder. Now I want to right click on the folder, and I want to create a list under that folder. So I'm going to call this Bumblebee Mine Tour. Okay, so I've named a list under this folder of Bumblebee. Click there. You can see in this bottom quadrant, there's nothing in this list right now. There's nothing appearing on my map. And so now I want to import. So I'm going to do a file, and I'm going to import into that folder. You click on it. And where do I want to get it? I want to get it from my PC downloads file. So down here, I'm going to go all the way down to that KML file. It's got the little Google Earth symbol. So that's the one that we just downloaded off of Google Maps on our website. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to hit open. So now it's importing the data. All my waypoints that were out there that are labeled are there, as well as the track. This is how you distinguish a track. Down here is the track itself, and these are waypoints. Now some guys like to change their waypoint, like a mine. You can click on the mine waypoint, and when you open it, all you do is, some people like to change it to a mine symbol. I just keep mine all flags. So if I click that, now that mine, instead of having a flag, let me close that so you can see it, now has the little mine symbol. See? American flag mine, it's got a mine symbol instead of a flag now. So some people like doing that. Some people like putting danger signals on certain parts. If there's a rough part of a trail, they put a little diamond in a square, which is a danger indicator. And so I'm going to change this back, because I like just the flags. It's real simple, and you can make whatever you want. Happy face. So now it's back to what it was. So here's the various waypoints plus the track. The other thing I like doing is on the track itself, you can double click on it, and it becomes, right now when it was downloaded, it became dark gray. I like to change that to red, because I know that's a nice clean track. I distinguish that from blue, which might be a track that I need to clean up. Did an exploratory ride. I had some side trails that I want to take out of my route, or the clean finished product. So red is what I usually do when it's nice and clean, and it comes pretty good on the screen. Whenever you make these types of changes, they're automatically saved in Basecamp. You don't have to hit a save button or anything like that. It will store those changes based on whatever you make. And again, one of the things I do recommend, since I'm in Basecamp right now, if you go to Maps, I am in an Arizona topo map, where you can go to gpsfiledepot.com, and download a free Arizona topo map, which has greater level of detail than the Garmin Google or global map or the Garmin US maps that come with your unit. It has a greater level of showing the trails, more definition on the topography of the area than what is shown in Garmin. So download that. Again, it's www.gpsfiledepot.com, all one word, and you can download the Arizona Topo Map for free from that website. Okay, so that was that. And now we want to find out, how do I get this into my GPS unit now? So now I have this saved. It's nice and organized. I got my waypoints. I got my track. And what you would do is hook up your device. I have a Garmin 64ST. So I would send this tour to my device. You either can, maybe I just want to bring a couple waypoints and send it into my Garmin unit, or so you can just click on a waypoint and send just the selection. I could say device, send to the device, just the selection. And you have to have your Garmin unit hooked up with through your USB port, and you usually get a cable with your Garmin unit to do that. And it will download this entire GPS track now into your Garmin unit and be labeled as Bumblebee Historical Mines Tour. And when you're out on the trail and you want to follow this trail, you just go through your Garmin unit on your tracks, maps track, and or main menu tracks, and select that track. And now you have turn-by-turn instructions saying, hey, you're going to be making a right turn up here to go to the Bumblebee Ranch line cabin, or now follow this route. When you also, let me show you another feature, is when you click on these tracks here, click on the unit, it actually shows you the directional arrows. So this is we came up here and we went this way and we returned this way, but you can actually see how we got to the Antelope Creek from the ranch cabin. You just follow this track, and when you're out on the trail, it says, hey, take the right fork instead of the left fork, and you come up here to the Antelope Creek, and then when you want to return, hey, try this path coming down. It returns back to the same area, and then we're going to come into the Government Springs Wash, do some riding through there, and come back out on the Crown King Road. So this is the way we went, so you could see the ins and outs of how that route actually occurred. And now you've saved it to your device, and now you can actually follow that out on the trail and follow this track. So, so I think I've covered quite a bit here. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to download those, play with those with yourself on the website. And if you have any questions, just come to a meeting and ask them, or give us a call. Again, this is Bob Maidson with the Phoenix ATV YouTube Club. Happy trails to you until we meet again.